Gorton.
Mr. Hauer, Mayor Giuliani, just a few moments ago, told us that when there was a dispute over who was in charge, the director of OEM had the authority to make that determination.
That's correct.
That's not the impression we got from your two successors, and it isn't even the impression I get in the fifth paragraph of your written statement on page 3, but rather that you just could operate as a referee and a coordinating agency.
No.
Does that office, in fact, have the right to say, in this case, the fire department is in charge, in this case, the police department is in charge?
Yeah, absolutely. I did that often. That's one of the things the mayor empowered us to do, is to be at the scene. And I either had field responders at the lower level incidents, and at the larger incidents, I was out there. And there were many occasions where there was a concern about who was in charge, whether or not it was a crime scene, whether or not the police should go in first or the fire department, and we resolved that. And we had very little in the way of interagency squabbling as a result of that.
In your view, does your present successor continue to have that authority? He can make that decision?
I don't know. I don't know. It's not my impression that he does, but I don't know for that for a fact.
Thank you. Mr. Smith, your central suggestion, at least here for New York, is that because both the fire department and the police department have emergency service units, and because this is the heart of where controversies take place between them, the solution is a rather drastic one of taking that authority away from both of them and creating a new special emergency service unit. I think you also said in your oral testimony that you believe that this is the only city in the United States in which this is the case. So my question to you is your recommendation simply a matter of history and despair that these disputes can ever be appropriately settled between these two departments, or is this something that you think is something universal, that it is ideal to have the emergency service units separated from both the police and fire departments? Or would you think that if there's a history of there being in just one of those two, that's the best way of doing it?
Yes, I do think that in most places in America, the emergency response and management is determined by the fire department, and police departments are left to law enforcement in most places in America. Here, the history shows a slowly building emergency services in the police department, whereas in the last decade it has grown to be so much larger. And I don't see any way at all of getting these organizations to not be competitive, because firefighters and police officers are really good at what they do here, and particularly in the emergency service units and the rescue units. And to try to get these people, knowing that they have these inherent talents and understandings of emergencies, to not compete for those jobs is unrealistic.
So your solution is a New York City solution, not a universal one?
Well, if it occurred in other places, I would warn them that the New York City history is not a good history, and that they should leave things as they are. You should not have competing organizations.
Thank you. Thank you.